Situation as well, unable to use the super to kind of push back in that respect. If you can't earn your super to sort of be able to pop that shield, you're kind of stuck in spawn. And we are going to see a comp change as well, actually, in response to that by OpNoob, going with an El Primo pick this time, but I'm not sure that that's going to do too much different in all honesty, Trade.
I mean, if you get your super online, you have that extra ability to keep up with the state of play by just using the elbow drop as a relocation. But I don't know if it's, I agree with you, I don't think it's an issue of which beefy boy they brought to the fire. I just think that short range is really going to make you struggle when you're struggling to take control of territory. But nice push up there. Hagago will get the turnaround because he got some reinforcements from Ponkotsu. So it's going to be a safe rush as we have two on here. But Milcreo is alive with the super, uses it defensively to be able to try and deflect some of this damage. The OpNoob are assaulting the safe, and they're about to match the percentage as well. But Milcreo hoping to deflect it. Ems gets that last shot in just to make sure that they stay even. But the Ems are sticking around and making this go on much longer. But here's the offensive by Hagago. All three members up onto the safe, and they just need to find a couple more shots. The incendiary will take. Hagago goes in close, and he gets it. That's going to be Jupiter picking up the second game on this map, and they go 1-0 in the series.
I'm just looking at this performance already early on and thinking, wow, Jupiter really brought the fire today. I don't know whether you noticed, but Milcreo in that defensive position there was basically single-handedly holding down
Junk Park with our map for this week.
And we are going to see BB for the first time in the monthly finals. So that's a really interesting thing. We hadn't seen BB used at all until today. And Jesse actually looking at the map right now. And two brawlers that we've never seen play before coming into the meta. So really interesting to see that.
Well, he just wants to show off the Tsuki Jesse skin. Gets up a frag, and Milcreo's going to get that the second bolt for his team. Trying to see some kind of retaliation from OpNoob, and Inbolt sent back over to the base. And it looks like first siege bot coming up in favor, and it's already in that area. Just going to try and make that connection. A lot of damage taken away, but it all came down, and they were able to get 55% on that safe, on that Ike, sorry.
That's a lot of damage early on for a one push, and it's definitely Jupiter now which have a bit of control over the mid, and yeah, I'm struggling to see whether OpNoob are going to be able to come back from this. If Jupiter keep getting this much damage as they do so, Milcreo just has Ben Kim wrapped under his thumb, as does Ponkotsu there as well, and making it look so easy today, Trid.
Yeah, it's a bit of a breath of relief for OpNoob. They've been able to get their own siege bot right now. It's a level 4, so nothing too powerful. And he's being stopped in the center. Great ult there. Great super by Jackie to pull away the aggro and let the siege bot move forward. They are going to come back with the invulnerability shields, though, so they should be able to juggle the aggro and stop this bot from hitting the Ike. Will allow a brief connection because we actually saw Milcreo go on the offensive, I think, a little bit too early, and I think that sacrificed damage. They weren't able to successfully juggle the siege bot.
Yeah, and zero control now as well, as all of OpNoob went down there. I think maybe like a bit of overcommitment. They may have served themselves better to be a little bit on the defensive side of that push and just kind of remain in control. But yet now we see this, the push so far back, they can't gain control. A level 13 siege bot coming in for Jupiter.
Well, this is basically done and dusted because it's the last siege arc as well. They have no method of retaliation after this to equalize the health. And Milcreo is just abusing his range. Ponkotsu gets the bounce with the bubble as well. They're maximizing the damage. And Jupiter will take the first game of Siege.
Jupiter showing no signs of slowing down today. And at this rate, it's looking like this is going to be done and dusted very, very quickly. OpNoob now got to assess themselves, got to think whether it's to do with the comps they're picking or the kind of like communication between the teams in their voice chat, or just...
There may be some self-doubt about whether they were ready for it or not.
Well, they're not here to make friends, they're here to earn points and, of course, prize money. So with that in mind, I can absolutely empathize with why they're not showing that mercy, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Oh, absolutely. An early lead in favor of Jupiter. Yet again, they have absolute domination here in the middle of the map, and they're going to get that level 4 siege bot to kick things off.
Yeah, I like Hagego's pick again of going with the long range. Brock can do so much effectiveness here by supering that mid area to make that distance between the bot going for the push on the siege hike much shorter. So I fully expect that he'll be looking to cycle that super and get that wall down as quickly as possible.
With a level 4 siege bot, they've already dropped it down to 50%. That shouldn't be happening often, considering that all members of OpNoob were alive when the push came in.
Yeah, you'd think so, and a lot of maybe errors happening there with regards to tanking that damage from the bot to kind of relieve the... I love that jump there from Hagego getting out of harm's way of that Brock gadget, using it to great effect there, and a super going out gets the takedown, almost gets the takedown, I should say, on Ben Kim. Second push coming in for Jupiter, level 8 this time.
Yeah, but OpNoob have only been able to capture 2 bolts this entire game so far. Make that 3 now. Well, the chaos of the bots coming in here. The wailing down, hasn't made the connection yet. They're going to try and buy more time, but all members of Jupiter are here, and they're wailing on the ice. It's all over. Jupiter again in a dominant fashion, taking the second map of Siege and going to match point.
Wow, that is a really, really good performance so far from Jupiter. OpNoob just can't even get a word in edgeways, and you know, going into this next game mode, I just wonder kind of how they're going to come back. What are they going to do now? They are now 2 sets down. The pressure has never been on more. And here we see 32 bolts.
Double swoosh kicking things off now as we go into map number 3.
We're going to see Mr. P. Oh, wow, this is a very different method to what we see in the Europe side of things. We're going to go with Ems, Mr. P, and Bo. Okay.
So yeah, they're just allowing the Mr. P's to perma-farm essentially their porters, and then they're going to come up and start going aggressive to try and keep the M's at bay. And yeah, just very stagnated at the moment. Ponkotsu seems to have had all the control so far. He's the one that's able to get the kills and the gems as they're going to try and collapse and get rid of the totems, knock out the bow as well. Enhanced Porter off to the left-hand side is going to deter Hagego. Won't go down though because Ponkotsu comes in with the support and stops the death at 8 HP.
Wow, on 8 HP.
It is Hagego going in. Beautiful combo.
Gadget. My goodness me, Hagego is just unstoppable right now on this left-hand side lane, surviving. I do think Mr. P is a good, solid pick. Going again with that ability to find brawls in the bushes, and it is working out well for both teams, but I would say definitely working out better for Jupiter right now, who are on countdown.
It's another shutout. Jupiter just have absolute domination over the objective. Hagego going to clear out what little gems they did have, and in a 10-0 sweep, Jupiter going to walk away with game number 1. They are 1 game away from securing the first match.
Yeah, this is looking like it's just going to be a sweep, and wow, you got to ask yourself, what can OpNoob, if anything, do to come back? Having to pick themselves up a lot, and they're not done today. They've still got more work to be done. So, okay, wow, we're seeing some different brawler picks here from OpNoob, going with Piper here. I can see it. I'm just not sure about it, Drid.
It does provide that extra range to try and keep Ponkotsu at bay. But I feel like Bo would be able to bring more utility here, especially with that super totem on the right-hand side. But he actually put the bow still in the roster. They've moved him into the right-hand lane. So this is all very confusing to me, Ark.
I can understand the Piper pick, but we have seen much more of B in the meta, and more pick rates, more success rates, and but having said that, I mean, it is kind of working, but Hagega going in, not able to quite get the takedown, but the first sign of aggression in this game now from Jupiter, who have got a really strong hold. Look at this. Putting back OpNoob right back into their spawn here.
One thing to know about the Piper pick, I think if they weren't playing Piper and you had to play further up to get damage out and control, that when we saw Jupiter go on the aggression as they're trying to do again here, I think they would have lost the gems in the process. Right now, they're able to keep the gems. Oh, the bear snare on Ponkotsu. And this is a good turnaround for OpNoob. I actually think the Piper produced so much value because they were able to escape the aggression and keep hold of their gems to begin with. Now it's on Jupiter to try and extract these from the enemy base.
I mean, look at this though, as Jupiter's going in the takedown. That's going to reset things at the very least. Maybe giving Jupiter just a bit more time to hold on whilst their third teammate can respawn back in. Is it going to be enough though? That's the question I have here. It's going to be close, that's for sure.
Well, they're all here now. They're ready for the final assault. They've got 4 seconds remaining. They just have to find a kill. Ben Kim seems to be the target. They need to get one more assault onto him, but no, Milcreo's gone down. But they were able to get the reset on that again by finding the frag in the middle. But they can't get these gems out. They're stalling for time to get the gems in the middle to equalize out so that they can try and force OpNoob out of the spawn.
They need to kill Ben Kim really quickly. 3 seconds, it's not going to happen.
Oh, he didn't know where he was.
Oh, I almost ate my words. Shots from Bonkotsu fired, but it is going to be a win. I'm not sure whether it's a bit of a late one. Well, I'm pretty sure it is, actually. OpNoob putting 1 on the board at least today.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too late in the game to change the outcome of this series, but that adaptation worked out for OpNoob. They were able...
Once?
Yeah, it's been played once, yeah. All right, just clarifying. I want to back up those claims. Well, they've actually decided to drop the Piper this time around, and is that a Leon?
That's not Leon for the first time in this championship. I don't know. One of the weaker gadgets for sure. Changing the Piper.
I like it. Bear in mind the super totem's there, so he's going to have this stealth super available even more to close the gap. He's going to run top of Hagego. Oh, the gadget's going to shut down the offensive, try and clear some space, but actually still capitalized by OpNoob. I can see the thought process behind it this time, Art. Bonkotsu will stay alive though.
Yeah, trying to be a bit of a menace, trying to disrupt the flow of things, I think is the idea of that Leon pick, and we'll have to see how that goes for Ben Kim. It's an interesting brawler pick. We've not seen Leon played once at all so far, and we haven't really seen much in the way of balance changes to Leon, but here we go again, him going in on Bonkotsu here. He's probably going to get quite a considerable amount of damage, but I don't know, Jupiter's still doing not... It's difficult.
So,
I mean, OpNoob are doing a good job of controlling the center area, and that's the thing.
So here's the thing. If Bonkotsu wasn't firing straight down mid, then actually Leon would have been detected early. So he could have got more damage into Bonkotsu and potentially got the kill. But he certainly wouldn't have got away with the gems. He was going to die even if he got the kill.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like a kind of kamikaze kind of like idea of just going in and not really caring too much about whether he stays alive or not, just simply going in to distract, and it does seem to be working. Bonkotsu is definitely not as focused on the center area and collecting those gems as he once was, and 8 gems apiece, it's a closer game, Trent.
Yeah, it's a close game, which makes it incredibly difficult to play completely defensively once you start the countdown, because you know the spawner will just mean that they can balance it out. There's going to be a kill on the left-hand side, so Milcreo looking to go forward and claim that gem and get the countdown started. The gap isn't high enough, so they can't go into full retreat. They have to play around mid and deter this attack. Yeah,
the countdown is on, and this will be Jupiter's chance to get this group in the bag, or at least the first match in the bag.
Oh, and down to Hagego! He's picking up all the gems! They have no counterplay, and Ben Kim will not be able to get that kill! That is going to mean Jupiter walk away with our first match of the day.
Wow, Jupiter looking incredibly strong right now, and they're going to take the first match comfortably so against OpNoob, and wow, OpNoob now looking very shaky going into their next games today.
Yeah, like we've already touched on though, Art, they have got 1 game break, so they can talk about what worked, what didn't, and they definitely got more competitive towards the end of the series.